Hi everybody! We're going to read another book, and the name of the book is The Babies of Cockle Bay, and it's written by Angela McAllister and Susie Jenkins Pierce. So shall we have a read? The Babies of Cockle Bay. 11 o'clock was nap time in Cockle Bay. The hairy old admirals crept into their hammocks. The lobster man yawned and pulled in his oars. Great Grandma Shrimpnet remembered herself to sleep. All the babies of the town were bobbed and buttoned and wheeled down to the seafront. And waiting at the seafront was Lilly Bolero with a ball of string. Lilly Bolero, she knew every baby in the town. She knew the teethers, the dribblers, the ones who sucked their thumbs, the ones who sucked their toes, the greedy gobblers, the windy smilers, and the grumbly growlers. But at 11 o'clock, said Lilly Bolero, there are all my drowsy darlings. So she tucked each one up in a little boat, tied with a piece of string to the leg of her deck chair, and set them gently rocking on the water. Then she would sing lullabies until they all nodded off to sleep. The mothers of Cockle Bay were happy to know that their babies were safe and sound with Lilly Bolero. One warm Wednesday afternoon, as Lilly hummed a lullaby, the babies rocked to sleep, and as they slept, they started to snore, louder than all the hairy old admirals put together. Snore, snored the babies. Ah! Chuckled the captain of the pirate ship that slipped silently into Cockle Bay. Snore, snore, snored the babies. Sleeping angels, spied Captain Bilge from the deck of the rotten rascal. Snore, 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 snored the babies. Let's get them, whispered Captain Bilge to his crafty crew. And before you could scarce say skullduggery, what the bosun in a parrot hat and a skirt made of the ship's flags was lowered into the rowboat, ready to set out for the shore. Quietly, the rest of the pirate crew put on their bathing suits, jumped into the water, and swam over to the sleeping babies. Suddenly, the great shadow of Ward the bosun loomed over Lilly Bolero. Looks like thunder, missus, he said with a wobbling courtesy. Lilly stared at the strange pirate woman. You're not from these parts, I believe, she said. Oh no, I'm from them parts, winked Ward. That is, I'm lost. And could you draw me a map to show me the way home? Lilly frowned, but she began to draw a map of these parts and them parts in the sand. As soon as the back was turned, the paddling pirates cut the strings of the little boats and towed all the babies back to the rotten rascal. When Lilly's map was finished, she looked for the lost pirate woman, but the beach was empty. And where were the babies? Suddenly, boom! A cannonball was fired from the pirate ship. It whizzed over Cockle Bay and landed on Great Grandma Shrimpnet's marigolds. The hairy old admirals fell out of their hammocks and the lobster man fell out of his boat. "Kidnapped!" said Lilly Bolero. Attached to the cannonball, Grandma found a ransom note, which read, "All land robbers, give us all your gold, or we'll make your babies walk the plank. Signed, Captain Broadside Bilge." "That pirate needs some spelling lessons," said Great-Grandma Shrimpnet. All the people of the town gathered on the seafront in dismay. There was no gold in Cockle Bay. How could the babies be saved? Lilly Bolero looked at the ransom note. "I don't think these pirates are very clever," she said. "Any noodle knows a baby can't walk the plank. In fact, I'll bet a buttered scone that pirates don't know anything about babies at all." And that gave her an idea. "We know there's no gold in Cockle Bay," she said, "but the pirates don't." So she sent a note by pigeon post. "Dear Captain Bilge, thank you for your cannonball. We only have one wheelbarrow to carry all our gold, so please to be patient. Yours sincerely, Lilly Bolero. P.S. The babies wake up at 1 o'clock. Then Lilly told the people of Cockle Bay that they all had to do was to wait. Sure enough, when the town clock struck 1, the babies began to wake up. And when the babies woke up, they were hungry, and so they began to cry. Now Captain Bilge and his crew had never ever heard such a terrifying noise as 23 hungry babies. The pirates didn't know what to do. They rocked the babies, they tickled them, jiggled them, wiggled them, and still the babies cried. Captain Bilge tried to remember what his mother used to do when he was a baby. "Smile at them, boys," he shouted. So the pirates put their horrible, whiskery faces up close and grinned. Wah! The frightened babies howled even more and louder. "Blithering barnacles!" thundered Captain Bilge, and he fired another cannonball message onto the beach. "Hurry up with your gold or else, Captain Bilge." But there was no gold in Cockle Bay. Lilly sent another note. "Dear Captain Bilge, our wheelbarrow has broken and the carpenter is fixing it. Please to be patient. Yours sincerely, Lilly Bolero. P.S. The babies are hungry. We'll bring bottles." Then Lilly put the baby's bottles into the lobster man's boat and he rowed her out to the Rotten Rascal. On the pirate ship, there were crying babies everywhere. Up the rigging, in the crow's nest, and on the poop deck. The frantic pirates howled up the babies' bottles faster than sunken treasure. "And birth them properly afterwards," instructed Lilly as the lobster man rowed her back to shore. When the babies got the bottles, there was silence. Captain Bilge and the crew of the Rotten Rascal sighed with relief. "They ain't bad little squabs when they're suckling," whispered Wat, the bosun with a baby on each arm. Even the captain lifted his eye patch to wink at the tiny tot tickling his tattoos. Then with a blush he remembered that he was a cutthroat pirate. "There better be plenty of gold," he growled. But there was no gold in Cockle Bay. Still, the people of Cockle Bay waited. The town clock struck 2. "Wet nappies," announced Lilly Bolero. And sure enough, 23 babies started to get that soggy feeling. And when they felt soggy, they began to cry. This time, the pirates knew exactly what was wrong, because that soggy feeling had soaked right through their wobbly knees. "Whoa, wow," cried the soggy babies. "Let's throw them overboard," shouted the soggy pirates. But at that moment, Lilly arrived with a basket of nappies and talcum powder. The soggy pirates howled up the nappies faster than a rat eats the rations. "And do mind the safety pins," warned Lilly as the lobster man rowed her back to shore. Captain Bilge looked at the wailing babies. He looked at the nappies, and he looked at his crummy crew. Then he took a deep breath. "Be bold, me hearties," he shouted. "Swap their stones, powder their kegs, and a barrel of ship's biscuit to the first man finished." Now, the pirates of Rotten Rascal had never ever done anything as complicated as change a nappy. Arms and legs flew everywhere in a great cloud of talcum powder. Nappies shot through the air and safety pins struck themselves into every pirate's clumsy thumb. When the talcum powder settled, only 6 nappies were on target. The soggy pirates were exhausted, and still the babies cried. "Havoc and hullabaloo!" roared Captain Bilge. "Where is that gold?" He fired another cannonball message which simply said, "We're putting up the plank, Bilge." But Lilly Bolero merely winked. "They'll be nearly ready now," she said. The town clock struck 3 as she sent her last message to the Rotten Rascal. "Dear Captain Bilge, a carpenter has to send for some nails. Please to be patient. Yours sincerely, Lilly Bolero. P.S. Baby's due for afternoon nap. Lullabies arriving." When the lobster man rowed Lilly out to the pirate ship, she was welcomed aboard with more cheers than a mermaid. The Rotten Rascal was an utter pandemonium. All the drowsy darlings were crying sleepily. The soggy, exhausted pirates were yawning and sneezing with talcum powder. And up on the poop deck, in a pile of bottles and nappies, sat the cutthroat Captain Broadside Bilge, with 3 babies on his lap, blubbering for his mother. Lilly dried the captain's tears, and then she began to sing. Her lullaby voice was as cozy as a cuddle. All the drowsy darlings stopped their sobs and nodded off to sleep. And then, one by one, guess what happened? The pirates felt their heavy eyelids close. What the bosun sighed and put his thumb in his mouth. Captain Bilge nestled among the nappies and started to snore. Before the second lullaby was finished, everyone on board the Rotten Rascal was fast asleep except Lilly Bolero. "I know about pirates," said Lily with a smile. "Some are sneaky scallywags, some are low-down larrikins, some suck their thumbs and some suck their toes. But after a spot of babysitting, they are all drowsy darlings." Gently she took the babies and tucked them up in their little boats. Then towing the little babies behind, the lobster man rowed Lily to the stern of the Rotten Rascal and cut the anchor rope. And as all the pirates slept, the Rotten Rascal floated out of Cockle Bay and away on the ocean blue. When Lily and the lobster man returned to the beach, only the babies' mothers were there to meet them, because 3 o'clock was afternoon nap time in Cockle Bay. The hairy old admirals had crept into their hammocks, and Great-Grandma Shrimpnet had remembered herself to sleep. So the lobster man yawned and pulled in his oars, and Lilly Bolero tied the baby's boats to the leg of her deck chair. And all the mothers of Cockle Bay kissed their drowsy darlings and went home to have a cup of tea, happy to know their babies were safe and sound with Lily. The end. Wasn't that a beautiful story about the pirates and the young girl called Lilly Bolero and how she rescued the little babies from the pirates? See you then. Bye.